Oh, you guys missed a good joke right there. Oh man. Alrighty, so welcome to the show. This is the first episode of Mixing It Up. These are the fabulous panel members that I've been teasing on Instagram with the silhouettes because I thought that'd be fun. But yeah,
I liked it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. How many tries did I show you of the same thumbnail but with things changed around?
There's a few,
Wow.
but you know what? Perfection always happens
oh,
like
yeah.
the 8th time.
Yeah,
So,
and even then,
you
like,
nailed
yeah,
it.
you guys never saw like how many times like, okay, this is cool. No, I don't like it. I'm gonna go back to it. And I was like, you know what, I could even at work. I'm like in the middle of the night. You know what I could do to the thumbnail? Now I have to write this down, or else I'm gonna forget because I'm that kind of guy. But yeah,
So I'm right there with you, bud.
and I am one of those people that has the best thoughts at night, but I'm at work, and I hate it. I hate it so much. But yeah, alrighty. So here we are. The co-hosts are. I'm gonna go by who's where. Next to me over here is Mitch Hoggett. If you ever seen like the Wolfbite or anything we do with that show, this is Mitch's Hoggett's Yogurts. And I still say that if he does that line, he never releases an actual yogurt. It's just a joke at the end. And then down to this side over here.
It's all custards and yogurts.
Yeah, pretty much. Down to this side right here, we have Sifu Mustache. If you guys are in the Grin Green community, you know the man, you know the name, and he makes amazing liquids. Seriously, hit him up. I don't know if he needs more work, but still hit him up because the one that I do have is amazing. Alrighty, and then below me we have the Custard Master himself.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Yeah, I know, right? Dick Ryder over here. We saw the name. We're like, what is that about? Like, I almost don't want to
it's
know.
never the same. That's
Yeah.
the whole thing that's amazing about it.
Yeah.
Eventually, I will run out of them, though. I promise you.
Oh, I doubt it, dude. The
We'll
variations
give you
of the
them.
names.
We'll fill that in for you. Then.
Mhm.
We'll come up with a name for you.
Alrighty. So, yeah, this is the panel. For the most part, we're gonna just go with the paces in this first episode. We've talked about some ideas of what we want to do and what we want to go with forward in the show and things like that. But for now, we're just gonna do like introductions on everybody and see why their vape story and where they're here and how they got into DIY and all that jazz. So let's see. Random Sifu, you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. I was an accidental vapor. I liked my cigarettes. I've smoked for 26 years since I was, 12. I'm 42 now. And really enjoyed my cigarettes. No plans on quitting. And then my brother-in-law got my wife a Smock O-Sub Mini kit. And I was tasting it. And then the next thing I know, I'm stealing it more often. And then next thing I know, I go buy my own. And then that was it. The cigarette warning just shut off. And years down the line, picked up on Wayne's channel and just saw it by chance and started researching. And then I picked up some of his one-shots, the Water Malone. And then I started experimenting from there. And my wife was in love with Turkish Harvest at the time. And I couldn't afford to keep buying Turkish Harvest. Love Turk, but that's really expensive stuff,
Yeah.
So I did some research on, butterscotches and apples and stuff like that. Just kind of put some stuff together, and came up with a, substitute. And she loved it, and then became my all-day vape. And then I just started experimenting from there. And here I am. I guess I'm in 2 years of DIY, so relatively new. And got brave and sent Grim a sample of the Peach Among Worlds because I kind of got it by accident, by accidentally dripping my peach over Yig. And here we are.
Nice.
I like that story.
Yeah.
That's
Happy
like a
accident.
happy accident story.
Yeah.
right there.
that's a lot of DIY, right? It's happy accidents. You know?
Oh yeah, dude. Even
Absolutely.
then, like just the fact that you just got into vaping because it just happened versus the rest of us, where we kind of looked for it on our own.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
my brother-in-law gave me one of those. I don't know if you remember those. It was
The cigar likes.
a pin style vape. I forget the name of them, but they were adjustable variable wattage, and the top
Yeah.
was broken. And I was just like, cigarette.
It's okay. Those were horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Then
think
I tried
those,
Views. I tried those. Those ones with the blue tips on them.
Yeah.
They tasted like dirt. And
Yeah.
I said, I like tobacco. I enjoyed tobacco. Rolling my own cigarettes for a while, and this is better. I haven't craved a cigarette since I got that. The flavor that got me off was milk and honey from Cosmic Fog. I stumbled on that at a shop, and that was it. Done.
You're just like, give me more milk and honey,
Yep.
because
Yep.
it tastes way better than whatever cigarettes you're vaping.
Right. But I still had I still always had a tobacco craving, so I was getting a lot of those black note flavors, the Sonata specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So I started mixing the Sonata into the milk and honey, and that was good for a while too. Yeah.
Awesome. Alrighty, who do you want to pass it off to?
Let's go, Mitch.
All right. Well, I smoked and chewed for about almost half my life. I'm 31 and I quit when I found vaping at 28. I was predominantly a Copenhagen chewer. I wasn't an everyday pack a day smoker. I was more of like, I would chew a couple cans of Copenhagen every day, and I would smoke when I was around smokers, or if I was really, really stressed and going through stuff, would pick up a lot more cigarettes. And but every time I tried to quit chewing, the hand to mouth and all of that, I would just eat so much junk food and candy, and I would just pack on pounds. And I was at an NA meeting, and one of my buddies who worked in a vape shop was constantly all over me trying to get me to switch to that. And I think that he wanted me to switch because his wife was tired of me accidentally leaving spitters laying around her house.
Oh, my spitter, dude.
You know,
even worse is when somebody spills one. Oh God, that's
I'm drinking one. I've actually taken a sip out of a Dr. Pepper can. I thought it was Dr. Pepper, but it was my uncle's dip.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
But I was a dipper too. I mean, I can vouch for cooking.
I had a coworker that was like that. He would leave Gatorade bottles everywhere.
I didn't get to play around with any of those kind of small, crummy, crappy little like Views and Blue and stuff. Because he worked in a vape shop, I jumped straight to a Sigelli 150 and a Crown sub-ohm tank, and that's what it took. That and 6 milligram. I think the Cloud 9 like honeydew melon was the flavor that got me to stop. And it was about almost 9 months ago was when I got into DIY. It was when our state had its flavor ban, and I was managing a vape shop here in Washington State, and I had lots of people, older customers, that were really freaking out because they weren't comfortable buying their vape juice online, and they didn't want to go back to cigarettes. And a lot of them were either friends or family, and I said, well, let me see what I can do. And I knew of Wayne and Fresh, and I just submersed myself into their videos, and I stumbled upon one of my favorite hobbies now, and I love doing it. And yeah, and that's kind of about it. Yeah, that's good.
And here we are.
That's about it. You know, yeah.
Hey, dude, that's the story. I mean,
yeah.
it can finish
What's
there.
funny is like the first 2 years, I didn't even get into like dessert vapes until like a year ago. The first 2 years, it was just fruit, just just give me all the fruit, and it, yeah. Now I don't ever even vape them. Like I strictly am a dessert vapor now. But yeah, it hadn't kind of a happy accident. If I hadn't decided to get clean and change my life, I wouldn't have met him, and he wouldn't have been pressuring me constantly to put down the Copenhagen can and pick up a vape. And I'm very, very grateful for more than just my health.
Cans? You were up to 2 cans a day?
2 cans of Copenhagen long cut.
Wow.
You never actually hear about
Yeah.
like people say I was up to 2 cans or that kind of thing. It's always like I was up to a pack a day, 3 packs.
Yeah, dude, I was like never really friends with anyone that like chewed
Dip.
tobacco or used it.
So
Like,
I was working offshore.
didn't.
I was working offshore for a while, and you were not allowed to take cigarettes out for some place. You couldn't even bring a combustible, pressurized lighter. So I started dipping, and then I would dip as soon as my feet touched galvanized grating. I wanted Copenhagen, but as soon as my feet touched dry land, back to cigarettes. I wouldn't even dip at my house.
So like you would never even dip when you're at home.
No.
It was like literally when in Rome kind of thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Yep.
All right, well, I guess I'll go then.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just gonna
you might as well
pass
go
it off
last.
to you, Chris.
All right, thanks, Mitch. Okay, so yeah, I guess my story is similar. I smoked for a really long time. Like I started smoking at 13. I think I smoked for 22 years, something like that. And I had a buddy that he vaped, and he didn't smoke that heavy, but he did smoke. And then I didn't see him for a few months, and then he had a vape, and this was like in 2014, probably, like somewhere around there. And so it was like an older, like 50-watt mod. He had like some like weird little tank thing on it. Like I don't even know what it is present day, to be honest with you. And I tried it, and I was like, oh man, that's actually not that bad. But he liked tobacco flavors, and I was like, yeah, man, I don't know if I would want to do that because that doesn't taste good to me. But I was like, I can get down with like the way that it feels. Like the throat hit was there for me, and like it seemed like I was smoking kind of thing, but the flavor was just weird. It kind of tasted like dirt. And so I'd never really thought much of it. And then I saw him 6 months later or so, and he's like, he's like, Chris, he's like, why don't you try like vaping? Why don't you try quitting smoking, and why don't you like use a vape to do it? And I was like, I don't know, man. Like when I tried yours last time, he's like, oh, try this one. And the next time he had like something desserty. And to be honest with you, my palate was so trash because I smoked for so long, and like who knows like how terrible my palate was at the time, because it gradually got better. But at the beginning, even when I finally like succumbed to like, you know what, man, you're probably right, like maybe I can try it. So like I went on Fast Tech because he's like, yeah, just order your shit on Fast Tech and you can get it from Fast Tech. So I ordered it was a Kangertech Subbox Mini. It was like a 50-watt single 18650. It came with like the Kanger Sub Tank Mini, I think it was called. And it came with like the 0.5 ohm coils, whatever. And I got like a 25R, and I thought, okay, I'm set. I'm going to quit smoking. And literally that's all I had was like one battery, and I had like that set up, and I was like, I'm going to quit smoking. Well, I smoked like, I don't know, a pack and a half of cigarettes every day, like something like that. So obviously I was going to vape a lot. So real quick, I learned like, all right, well, this doesn't even last me the entire day. Like I can't even like vape in my, like, at the time I had like my own business and I was driving a lot, and I didn't have the ability to like keep that battery lasting all day. So then I'd have to plug it in and everything else. And eventually I realized that like I wasn't doing things right, and I got another setup and more batteries, and like once that happened, then I never smoked again. Like once I figured it out, it's like I didn't really get smoke, or I didn't get vaping at the beginning because I thought, oh, you know, I don't know if I can do this because it's so difficult. There's a learning curve with vaping, right? And I think that I take that for granted now because I'm like experienced. Because you know, I quit smoking. It'll be almost 5 years, so like I've not ever had to deal with that. I always would just have a pack of cigarettes, I'd bust out a smoke, light it up, and the preparation
right?
was very simple.
A lot of stuff you gotta do.
Yeah, and like now that I have all that stuff down, it's totally different. So as I went along, I realized pretty quick that I like the hot vape. So it was probably about a year and a half after that I got like my first mech mod and like a dripper, and I also realized that you can go through liquid pretty fast when you're using a mech mod and a dripper. And so being in Canada, for anyone out there that doesn't know, that's where I live just outside Toronto, and stuff up here is like fairly expensive. Like if you go into a vape shop for a 60 mil, it's like starts at $30. And so if I like something that was like 100 mil bottle, it would cost like 45, $50 after tax, right? So I was like, all right, well, you know what? I really like Vape Tasia Killer Custard. That was like my jam. I probably still to this date, I don't know how many liquids that are commercial liquids that I've vaped more of than that. And I was like, I need to find a way to basically get this for dirt cheap, because I can't afford to spend like $45, $50 every 2-3 days, because that's what I would vape, like 30 mils a day. Every 3 days, that 100 mils gone. I'd have to spend another 45, $50. So I started to get into DIY, and I just literally went to like this store called Dash Vapes, and I went on there online, and they have like a ton of DIY stuff. And I just ordered anything that said vanilla and anything that said custard. And I was like, I'm gonna make this. It's gonna happen. And it took me probably, I'm gonna say like 4 or 5 months to get to the point where I was like, all right, I'm kind of satisfied. This is pretty good. And I wasted a lot of money because I was mixing like 60 ml bottles, like thinking like, oh, this one's gonna be the one, and you just mix it all, and you'd vape it and you'd let it steep, and you'd be like, man, this is trash. And then you'd keep on going, and then you'd find certain things that worked, and then you'd start piecing together like bottle 1 to like bottle 40, and you're like, I felt like a mad scientist, to be completely honest with you. But eventually I got it. And after I got that, I was like, oh, I'm going to start doing other things. And I never really put in as much effort as I did in that initial like time investment to make a custard, because I was kind of satisfied. And it wasn't until I started, basically once I joined like the Vape Stew crew, and I'm like talking to other vapors every day, and like hearing what people like, what people don't like. Oh, this juice is amazing. This one's amazing. Trying all these different things, that I realized that like I wasn't satisfied with just one flavor, because I would always vape something different, but I would just buy it. Yeah. Because I've probably vaped like 200-300 mils a week, or 2 weeks maybe, of my vanilla custard. And then I just started to get more and more and more and more into it. And I've said it before on a show. I kind of went about it a way that I would never recommend it to anyone, because like I said, I literally went on their site and I just went vanilla custard, bam, vanilla custard, bam, vanilla cupcake, bam, vanilla, whatever, anything, just all in my cart, and had no idea what I was doing. And now I have a little, well, I obviously have a little bit more of an idea of what I'm doing, but I also have a different process that I've actually created. Like where at the beginning, I never had a process. So and now I actually have a process, and I have like a way of doing things, and I make a lot better educated guesses as opposed to just shooting in the dark, which is what I used to do. So that's basically my story. I'm like, all right at DIY, but I'm always wanting to learn more. So for everyone out there, if you don't know how to DIY and you want to learn how to DIY, I'm going to help you. because I had no guidance and I still somehow managed to be okay. So you can be okay too. And
You're
I'm gonna pass it off
okay.
to Clown.
I'm okay. You're okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay,
Like
so
I could be worse. You could be learning from a worse person.
Chris, you pretty much about killed Lando. 'Cause I think you said custard about 15 times.
Yeah, custard times infinity. That's how amazing custard is. Sorry, Lando. Carry on.
He just does not like it.
Like how many bad peppery vanillas did you taste before you was like, yeah, this one's okay?
Honestly, I'm not really that many, but I maybe I was just lucky because I was getting like legit flavorings, like flavorings that I still use to this day. Like there wasn't that many.
So there
Like I
was
didn't
some
go
luck
crazy.
involved.
Like I wouldn't get like vanilla peppermint and think I was gonna be able to
Right.
turn that into a vanilla custard.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, that's hilarious. So yeah, my story. Let's see. I started smoking at the age of 13. Discovered vaping at about 23ish. Yeah, 23ish. And had like the first couple of setups, but I did dual use for a couple of years. Actually, I'm one of those weird cases, I guess. But the main problem was I am not an MTL guy at all. I never realized it until I discovered direct lung vaping, that I direct lung smoked, which to most people sounds ridiculous, like you can't do it, but I can do it. I mean, I used to be able to like just inhale a whole cigarello in maybe 3 minutes because I actually timed it one time because I was a little curious. So if that gives you like a clue of how like ridiculous I am, I don't do things half-assed. That's why I don't get into like heavier substances and stuff, because I know my addictive personality and I go full bore. I don't just like wade into the water. I jump on the deep end. So what's it called? Then around like 2015, I was starting to get into like sub-ohm setups, and as like Chris said, things start getting a little bit more expensive because you're going through juice a lot quicker. And this is still the era where like you were paying for like 15 mil, you're still paying like $25, or for like a 30 mil, you're paying probably close to like 30, and that just gets a little bit ridiculous. And you're like looking at your life and your bargain bin shopping, and then you think of, is there another way to do this? And that's when I started going on YouTube and I discovered DIY. And there were like no good videos out there. Like at that time, most of the like DIY videos at that point were very, okay, you get flavorings, you get your PG, your VG, and nicotine, and that's DIY for you. That's it. They wouldn't explain how the recipes work. They wouldn't explain. It didn't go into full detail like it does nowadays. Like now, there you could go see Fresh's show, you could go see Daytime Frank's show, you could go see Wayne's stuff, and they go into more of a clarifying like idea of what DIY really is versus you dump it all into a bottle. So I got to play a lot of trial and error. The first one I did was a coffee vape, which I still, for the life of me, cannot find that flavoring ever again. It was something I bought off of eBay because that's where the only options were at that time, was eBay shopping. I didn't know that there were actually companies out there that sold all this stuff.
Yeah,
So,
like what year was this, Clown?
2015.
Like, okay.
Mm-hmm. So
Sorry, carry on.
no, yeah, you're good. So I got that coffee vape. It tasted amazing. So then I tried a couple other things. I had gotten an apple, and I just botched that like crazy. It was just like this heavy floral taste. And, you know, played around with a bunch of things, tried red velvet. Again, didn't really understand that you don't just buy a standard flavoring and expect it to turn out right. You actually need to do a little bit more steps than that. So I went through a lot of trial and error and a lot of disgusting tasting stuff. I threw away a lot of bottles, and it was very disheartened. I almost like didn't really continue going with it, but I pressed on, and like about a year or so later, I started doing like the flavors that I have currently in the lineup that I do have on the site and things like that. So there's like the Tyson's blend was actually something that a buddy of mine, I told him I didn't want to do like a strawberries and cream. Everybody at that time was doing a strawberries and cream. You could buy them just about anywhere. And he's like, nah, dude, give it a shot. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I started mixing it, and this was like a 2 month thing because he was like, more strawberry. Like the dude just wanted so much strawberry in it that it was ridiculous. And that's why I ended up naming it after him, because it was like he was the reason behind the whole thing. And then like the other flavors, just things that I was curious about, of could I make this into a liquid, or this seems interesting, let's see if we could actually run with it and do something. So, you know, I did that for a while. And like I was telling the guys before the show, I hit like this weird place of I was just stagnant, and I haven't really pushed myself further into learning more recipes, into trying to develop flavors better. And I even told Chris there's like a couple of them that I at this point in time I could probably revisit and make them better. And you know, it's one of those things of I just feel like I need to push myself, and adding the DIY section to the Ohmies has pushed it. But I've always wanted to do a DIY panel show. Like I had actually approached a couple of friends about this like a year ago. I think Chris, I had talked to you about maybe being on a show with me, but I don't remember if I did, because there was one other person I knew DIY'd at the time that they could have talked to us about it, but he didn't have the time nor did have interest, so I just kind of let it be. So, you know, but doing that, and I was like, you know, I know Mitch, he DIYs, I know Seafood DIYs, I know Chris DIYs, and I was like, I had a proposition for you guys, and you guys were all down. So I'm very excited the fact that we are here and we are doing the show, and everybody's all down for doing this. And so far we've had a couple like meetings just to see how we mesh as a group and how we can communicate with each other. And I can't speak for everybody here, but I am fucking excited. Like seriously, I'm just beyond ecstatic for what's to come in this show.
Oh, dude, I'm pumped.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited for next time, not getting to do it on a computer instead of on my phone, and to not have a teething 2-year-old attacking me and crying and drawing me away from you guys. I apologize.
It's all good, man. We know what it's like to be a parent.
I
Well, I
appreciate
don't,
your patience.
Dude, you have
a
a
lot of patience.
you have a puppy
I'll
right
sell you
now
one
that you're
cheap.
dealing
I'll
with.
sell you one cheap. Chris, if you want one, I'll sell her to you. I'll ship her to you in the mail. She'll get there quick.
He gets a crate in the
Okay,
mail.
just
She's
let
already
you know.
she's already
first
almost
class
potty
gets
trained.
to me just as fast as priority. So don't try upcharging me. I know.
Do not
She's
upsell
already
the
almost potty
value,
trained,
because
too.
that'll mess up the duty.
Yeah, for real, dude. Con, you know.
Oh, I know.
Duty
Damn.
is real for us Canadians. I don't really think that many American people end up getting hit with duty, but
DHL's the only company that does that to us here.
like,
But,
so if you order something from like, let's just say, something from the UK,
mhm.
okay, and like you order something from like Jane Dodd from Shy Tots, and she puts on there that it's worth like 120 like Great British pounds,
Mhm.
you would not pay any duty on that, even though that's like
don't know, to be
considerably over
honest.
$100 American.
I've never had anything come here that's over like $30, to be honest, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, because like Fast Tech doesn't count. I've
Yeah,
never
Fast-
once got
Fast
dinged.
Tech-
I've literally
Fast Tech does
ordered
not
like
carry
hundreds
it.
of dollars of stuff from Fast Tech
Mhm.
and never got touched with duties.
Yeah.
But like I ordered
like-
from EMB once, got hit with duty. Like I
Mhm.
ordered from like a couple other places, sometimes like personal people, like I've bought used stuff and they put like a really high value on it, and then I ended up paying duty on it.
Mhm.
Like I've somehow shout out to Stan, whatever he does, I've never once paid duty on anything from Stan. And I just got an order with like 2 tenacious unicorns and stuff in
Mhm.
it. So like
What
he's doing
duty?
something right.
I don't even know what it is.
You don't know what the tenacious unicorn is?
No, I don't know what duty is.
Oh, it's
Oh!
basically
You
where
saying
they
Tenacious
charge
Unicorn's duty?
It was duty.
you.
No,
That's when
it's
they
like,
charge you for
it's like a
shipping
tariff,
something to
basically.
you. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay,
like a
tariff.
tax.
Okay.
It's because you don't. Okay, so if I buy something from America, right? I'm using my money and I'm spending it in America, and Canada's not getting anything from it. So
Okay.
if it's a certain amount, like it's basically like about $100. If it's over $100, then they charge me tax and duty on it. So it turns it into about 20%. So if I buy something that's $100, but when it comes to me, I have to pay like the government $20 before they release it to me.
Wow.
So that's like it's like I don't know if it's a way for them to be like, hey, just buy local, or like, hey, buy Canadian,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's just their way of being like, listen, we need more of your tax money because you already paid tax on the money you made, and we're gonna tax you there. I don't know how it works. Like I said, I now know like all the ways to kind of like skate around it. Like even I ordered from Bull City Flavors, and it was like 140 some odd bucks or whatever. So like in the special notes, I said, I will take all responsibility. Please mark it under $100. They marked it at like $92,
Yeah.
and I didn't pay any duty. But I would have probably, and like there's a chance that it would have went through, even if I didn't make that comment in the notes. But I just do that to like cover myself because I don't know about you guys. There's like nothing worse than ordering something thinking that you paid for it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, if you want to like recoup that $140 that you just spent, you got to give us $30.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to like avoid that basically.
All right.
Yeah, Advocacy said it. It's like an import tax, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. I've heard of like reviewers that get stuff from China and they send it DHL. They always get slapped with duty fees, and that just turns into an issue. But other than that, I don't know how it would work with like the USPS or UPS or FedEx. So I've never had that issue.
One time I'm gonna just like send somebody a package and I'm gonna say that it's worth like $400
I'd fucking kill you
just to see what happens. I'll be like, oh yeah, here's like 460s of e-liquid. It's $400, and see if it's worth it. And worst case scenario is it just gets returned to me and I'm out the shipping cost. But
yeah,
I'm just curious.
yeah. Just send a piece of paper.
Never piss off. No, never piss off Chris.
He will send you packages.
He will send you packages, and then you will pay royally for it.
Oh, really? Okay, so Daytime Frank says Vaperso has sent him stuff through DHL and he's never paid duty fees. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a country-by-country thing because I've heard, like, the UK reviewers get slapped hard with duties. And then Addy Tooney did send you some poop emojis, Mitch.
Oh.
Mitch can't see the chat, so we're having to keep him updated. Oh, man. But, yeah, so those are our stories. And as far as, like, mixing, we were actually talking like Sifu seems to be all over the place, which is amazing. I've heard great things about his root beer. People love his root beer, and I have one of his juices. It's supposed to be Sifu's Reserve, but I swear it's the peach one. At least that's what I'm tasting. And he's all
I make no bones about it. I pulled up the wrong recipe and put the wrong label on it.
Either way, it tastes amazing. And yeah, sorry Lando, yes I know, sorry Lando, but like I have tried a couple of Chris's custards and they are amazing. And even that banana split one you sent me, it was good. I don't see it as my all-day vape, but it was still good, especially for someone that just can't vape banana. I hate banana. Like, it's like my least favorite
like banana.
thing.
I don't like candy banana, though.
Say it. And it's like Bole Bolo, dude. I can't do that. Like, I tried it once and now I almost about puked. I was lying about
that. Was the only
one time
banana.
It was not good. The other time it was really good. So I actually ordered a bottle. I just haven't opened it yet.
The cheesy feet, or what was it? Cheesy feet?
Yeah, it was
Sammy
cheesy
said.
feet. It was basically Dan just like sabotaging us for that liquid. I'm pretty sure he was probably like, I want all this. I don't want anyone else to buy it ever.
Mm-hmm.
Just so it's always there for me. I'm gonna give these guys like the worst representation of what this flavor can be like in this Rebirth RTA that probably needed to get rewicked a month ago.
80 watts on the Galatech. That's all I gotta say to you, bro.
Dude, if there was, okay, I'll tell you right now, if I'd have tried it on 80 watts on the Galtech, I bet you would have been fucking banging.
Probably.
Like, it would have been real good.
That's a Stu
Like, there's something
joke
about
right
that
there.
setup.
I know,
That
that's
setup
still
was
at,
legit.
that's still at Mark's house too.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Mm-hmm. But then Mitch, as far as we know, you know, him telling us he's been into doing some fruit mixes, stuff like that, and all that kind of thing. Like, what else have you done, Mitch, as far as like your profiles? Because like, I know a little bit of your stuff.
Right now, I'm working on my third version of blueberry custard. And I think I just cracked this bottle and am excited so far. I'm really liking it. I'm also I've been playing around with some different types of cake and kind of going out of the custards and into some different desserts.
Mm-hmm.
I've been pretty happy with some of the other ones. I don't mess with a lot of strawberry. I mean, I mix it, like I make a really, like, in my opinion, it's a pretty good strawberry lemonade. And I've had a lot of people that really like it, but I don't know, I don't really ever vape it much.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time I vaped it, Tuna told me that I was breaking rule number 1, that I was getting high on my own supply. So
But
I
that's why you
switched it
DIY
to
though. That's why you DIY, because you want to get out of your supply. In all reality.
um, yeah, I mean, I've been really happy with some of my lemonades. Logan really liked the blackberry lemonade I made. That one's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I play around with a little bit of everything. Me personally, I vape the desserts, but I end up making a lot more fruity stuff for everybody else.
Mm-hmm. I hear you, man. No, yeah. I mean, I have a couple of recipes where, like the mint me out, you were telling me you were liking that one, and that's actually like my
Oh, yeah.
least favorite one of the ones that I make. It's my least favorite one.
Yeah,
Mouth.
I was really surprised by that I ended up liking it so much, because normally I don't really vape a lot of like chocolate stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
really,
I'll be honest.
really
That
happy with that.
that was a happy accident type thing, because I was actually aiming for something completely different than what it turned out to be, but I'm glad it still worked.
I mean, there's worse things that could happen.
Right. I know we're like at the end of the show, but do you guys want to do a little what have we been vaping or what I've been mixing?
Yeah.
All right, go. Mitch, you were talking about something. Take it away, man.
Yeah. I got a surprise package in the mail from Freeman's, and it actually kind of inspired me to kind of go out of my comfort zone. They sent me their new. One of them's a strawberry, like a strawberry kiwi that's iced, and I never vape iced or menthol or minty stuff besides the one you sent me. I really liked, and I really liked it, and so I think I am gonna kind of dive into that a little bit. It definitely isn't like an all-day vape sort of thing, but I have so many setups as it is. Like one of them are like maybe 3 of them are like all-day vapes anyway. So and then the other was a raspberry cheesecake that is super good. And I'm vaping that in my rye with my Vert Squad Palmer's Powders coated unicorn, and then Warlock's Hammer and Turkish Maze in the Blotto, and my daughter's yelling no. So,
Not that one.
Daddy'll be right there. It's on. I put it on one of her shows, and it must be on something she doesn't want to see. Vape my blueberry custard in the clutch with Turkdala. And I hear you. I'll be right there. I promise. And then my MTL is a reload with 12 milligram Turkish Maze. And that's kind of what I've been vaping on. This is my monster.
Alrighty, who you want to pass it off to?
Let's hear it, Chris. I passed it to you once. I might as well again. And it looked like you were in the middle of doing something. So.
No, it's all right. I'm like in the middle of mixing. Like that's not a big deal. Okay, so first setup, I was rocking this all day at work, so I basically just carried it up into the vape layer, and not fancy, but you know what? It's vaping real good. So I got the drag This is like the limited edition one that I guess maybe I can hold it like right way up or whatever. But it's the one that's like gray on both sides.
No
Doesn't
resin.
have like that
nice.
cheesy side or whatever. With a Goon 22 on top. Actually got some Sammy Nitro aliens in that.
Ooh.
And I'm almost done this. I've like plowed through this like Kelly
How
Kells.
is that?
It's her vanilla bourbon pudding, I guess. Well, it says it's just called, well, it says Nilla bourbon unicorn pudding. And at first I was like, okay, you know, I can see what she's doing there. Like, it's pretty good. Like, and then Sean said to me, he's like, dude, he's like, maybe you need to put it in something airier, because I had it in the layer cake. And for everyone out there that doesn't know, the layer cake's my favorite RDA of all time. And so I had it in there, and I was getting a lot of bourbon and a lot of like that oaky barrel flavor. So then I put it in something a bit more airy. So like I'm running this Goon 22 wide open. I had like 3.5 volts. It's got like a 0.1. So it's like, it's got some heat to it, but like it's got a lot more air. And now the bourbon notes kind of, it's not gone, but it's like way more pudding. And I really like it quite a bit. Like I plowed through this. I think I opened this on Friday. So like I've definitely like did some work on that. And then my next setup, Clutch Gang.
Yeah.
And I got the Dang on top with this is the Sugar Plum Chop Top, the color changing one. Got some Steez Browns up in there, and it's ripping beautifully. And inside that, we were talking before about like custards or desserts and fruits, and like Clown's like, there's not that many fruits that I make, or I don't really enjoy vaping them that much. I do enjoy vaping fruits. I definitely enjoy vaping desserts, like probably 80+% of the time, but I like having that switch up every now and then. So if I'm like running 4 setups, like one will probably have a fruit. So I've been on this like fruit DIY kick, and this one's a watermelon limeade, and this was like my first attempt, and I kind of really like it. So I made a few tweaks like on my recipe. I haven't made it yet. I haven't mixed that back up yet, but I think that the second one's going to be even better, because like there's a couple little things that I kind of didn't like right off the hop, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. It kind of settled out a little bit, but I feel like I can make it way better just the second time. And my third setup, which I was gonna mix something, and I still have time to, so I'm actually mixing like a banana bread custard. I've never tried it before, but I got some new concentrates in. Actually, I got this one in. And everyone was talking about how awesome it was, so I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna put it on the Death Trap, which I almost just like roasted the fresh wicks I put in there. So I got the Death Trap. I got a for British size only like low boy alien in here. It's like a 0.16 single coil on the Cold Steel 120, and I'll tell you what that liquid's like before the end of the show, because I already figured it out. I just have to mix it now. So I'm gonna pass it to Seafood.
I am short on setups right now. I have a Monarch Ultralight on the way, but I did get the Rye RDA. This is Jess's new Holy Jeans chop top.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, dude, I need those.
Oh,
That
nice.
looks so
It looks
good.
it looks popping on the blue Envy Loch Ness. So I'm a sucker for blue and stainless. So that's all I have with me today. And I'm vaping on a boosted version of Peach Mong Wolf. I boosted this in the calculator to 20% overall, just to see how it holds up. It's a little strong, but it's okay. My thoughts on the Rye. It's good. It's got good flavor. I'm not very I don't like. I'm going to put my normal 27 core tri-core aliens in it and see how that runs. I'm running a quad core right now, and I think the problem with quad cores, I was talking with KB earlier about it, is that it burns off a lot of the tops and bottoms of your mixes because it takes a little while to heat up, so it just kind of burns the ends of your flavor out. So it does have good flavor, though. I can tell that there's a lot of potential in it. And the airflow is just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful airflow. And that's all I have for today. The things that I'm working on right now, I'm working on a mango champagne. That's pretty close. I'm trying a different one because the flavor art one that I had tasted a little green to me. So I went with the mango Indian special to see how that works with those bright champagne notes that I have with the TFA champagne. So that's what I'm working on. And on the drawing board is a gin and pink guava mix that I'll be trying real soon. And also I'm on version 6 of the Great Yig experiment. Current's very hard to work with, and Yig is very hard to get, so I gotten some advice from Homeboy. He's like, cloning is chasing a shadow. You're never really gonna quite get it. So I took his advice, along with, he guarantees there's no more than 4 or 5 flavors in it, and the flavors that they were using back in the day. So I think I'm getting closer with it. It's not quite right. It does taste pretty good, but I think there's a little more room for it. So I've been working on that too. I need to boost the middle, and I need to figure out why it's feeling gives me that throat tickle. Some mixes you make, it gives you that throat tickle, especially bakery flavors.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to locate that and work that on. But that's on the drawing board too. Yeah, I'm excited to get the Monarch ultralight in, and I'm waiting to get my my Asgard Mini back. It did this, but the top of the diffuser cracked off that goes in there, so it doesn't seep. But Vapor's Cloud has responded, and hopefully I can get it returned because I really like the Asgard Mini.
Hey, Sifu. Addy Tooney says he has a bottle if you need it. I'm guessing of the Yig.
Oh, I've been delicately, I probably have about 5 to 8 mils left on that bottle. So I've been, just to get a little taste on your finger, just to keep referencing it, and I don't know if it's going to actually end up being Yig. We were on the DIY chat with names. It might be just an ode to Yig, or
it's like a
Revenge of the Yig, or Return of Yig, something like that. It's not going to quite be Yig, but it'll be a tribute.
It'd be funny if Nick actually finally gets a hold where he can release the recipes, and you look at it, and you're like, "Fuck, I was so close."
Yeah. And then the thing is that I know for certain that it's the Capella custard, the original, and that takes
steeping times. Yay.
3 weeks for it to finally taste like you want it to. And I'm like you. I'm impatient. And I've been making a lot of liquids for everybody, and I'm barely making any for myself. So I've been vaping a lot of young mixes. That's just a happy problem to have, So
yeah.
But I went ahead and made all of my mixes public for the show, and if you follow that link, you can check out what I got.
Oh yeah, if you Mitch, Chris, if you guys want to share your ELR, you're more than welcome to. And I know, Mitch, you can't really do what's it called, a chat. So if you can get a hold of it for us and just send it to me or something privately, I'll post it for you.
Okay.
But,
sounds good.
I don't have a single public recipe, but this one that I'm doing right now is going to be my first one.
Okay.
So it's overdrip with a 0. That's just so you guys know. Like everywhere that I am on, it's like overdrip, but it's a 0. So just like in here, if you're trying to tag me, you got to tag me with a 0 because
Mhm.
it's a 0. But that's what my ERLR thing is going to be as well.
Alrighty. So, yeah, like I said at the beginning of the show, we're not really gonna get into mixing this week. We're almost at like the end of the show here. But next week, we do want to do either you could email me at clownvapes@gmail.com and send us some recipe suggestions we can work on in next week's episode, or if you guys want to do like a on the spot challenge, or just throw a recipe our way that we could take a week to work on and stuff. Like, we're not at that weird level like Toonie and Daytime Frank where these guys can just do it on the spot. We're still like very novice level at that sense because we like to play with the development a little bit more. Whereas, you know, I've been on these shows and I do feel very intimidated where they just start mixing in front of you and you're like, like, I don't know why I am here. But for me, let's see. First off, I got the one that was given to me as a challenge by Anthony Ramella a couple weeks back on Vaping with the Ohmies for the peanut butter frosted flakes. I ended up naming it Frosted Nuts. And I have that in the Twisted Message Cubed on top of the Lazy Vapors single battery 21700 guy. Then I'm still vaping the Arnold Palmer. Look, I actually said it right for once. And
Yeah,
that,
you did.
yeah. Do what?
I want that.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you weren't here, but like the sweet tea I used for this, I can't find it anywhere to save my life. So I'm gonna have to find another one that'll work, or I'm pretty much boned on that one. But I have that in the recoil with a DHD drip tip and Exome setup as always. And then lastly, this is one that like Tuna, his wife, requested, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. And it's supposed to be a caramel apple. So far, I don't think I have it. I need to work and develop the caramel flavor a little bit more. I'm just tasting an apple, and if I wanted just a straight like pucker apple vape, it's amazing. But I'm looking for that caramel, and it's not in there. So I need to work on that, and I have that in the Bunker RDA on top of the Squid Industries double barrel.
What caramel were you using?
Lauren's caramel. I might have to just switch it out and see.
Dude, you should try Flavor Arts. I'm like a huge fan of Flavor Arts.
I know you are,
flavors.
and I don't think I have the Flavor Arts one. That's the thing. Because I think I have Wonder Flavors. I have a TFA one. Yeah, Daytime Frank. It was the TFA sweet tea, and I can't find it. I don't know why I can't find it. Maybe I'm being stupid. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look around some more and see if maybe I could find it somewhere else.
Shake it, baby, shake it.
Shake it, shake it. Oh yeah, dude. That's
Well,
like
no,
the fun part. You just
because
sit here.
I was like, oh, you know what? You guys were talking about how you do, you like mix things inside other shit.
Mhm.
So I just made this 8515. So now I don't have to worry. And like, so this is PG, and then I have this. So now I'm gonna end up with some, you know, like 75-25 ish, because this has got 11% flavoring. So you know what I mean? That's.
Alrighty,
I
cool.
don't know.
I'll check
I'm
out.
trying something new.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we were even talking about one shots because, like, I mean, Sifu and I know Chris wants to get into it, and I know Mitch has been trying on his end, like, more of a commercialized end of things, and we've been talking about one shots and just kind of streamlining things a little bit quicker because trying to mix a ton of bottles, doing one flavor at a time, kind of becomes a hassle after a bit. You get really frustrated and annoyed. So one shots
I
are your
found the
best friend.
TFA on Bull City.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that one and see if that's it, because I know on the recipe that I have, I think I just might have written that all wrong or something, but I'm gonna check out the Bull City one and see if I can get a hold of that.
One shots are the way to go. I mean, saves so much time, so much time.
Especially when you're shipping out like 20-30 bottles a weekend. But yeah,
I found one flaw with this bottle. You have to really squeeze this 120 for a while to get enough liquid out, especially when it's like 85-15. just even fill up this bottle.
All right. So, okay. Addie and Frank, you guys have given me some suggestions. I'm going to check it out. And I hope that's the right one because I want to keep trying at this. Like, I like how the flavor works. The lemonade, the tea, it's all mellowed out. It's balanced. It doesn't have that, like very tea floral taste to it. Like, that finally, like, toned down a little bit. Or maybe, like, the lemonade kind of came out of it. I don't know. But uh it's always a work in progress, especially like if you're actually trying to develop a flavor that you're gonna make constantly and stuff like that, unless you just happen to be talented and make it on the first try. But other than that, yeah, this was the first episode
There
of
you go,
Mixing It
Frank.
Up.
It's
There
gonna
you
make
go.
no difference if I cut that.
Off the top, man.
No, it's cool. It's cool. And sorry, Clown, I didn't mean to cut you off. I
Oh, you're
want to
fine.
try this
You're
though
fine.
before we bounce.
Yeah, but like I was saying, this is the first episode. I wanted to just do a get to meet us, get to know who we are as individuals and stuff, because we all come from different parts of the country. Honestly, like me and Sifu are closer to the south. We're in different states, but we're in the south. Mitch is up in the northwest, and then Overdrip is in Canada. So we all come from different walks of life and get to know us more of where we come from and what we're trying to head towards. Alrighty, so what else? I think
It's mixed up enough for me.
all right, so you're gonna do a live tasting there?
Yeah, like I obviously can't expect very much, considering there's like 3 or 4 flavors in there that need time.
Mm-hmm.
But I can get like a real rough idea, and maybe I'll revisit it next week.
Mm-hmm.
Because a week will do something.
Oh, it will.
I'll make it great.
Making vape great again. Alrighty, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, dude, trust me, the impatience is ridiculous. But let's see, Sifu, you got anything you want to promote or put out there?
No, I mean, if you want to try my stuff, just find me, leave me a PM, and I'll get it out to you. I've made my mixes public for a little minute, and go out and check them out on ELR. And,
Where do they find you, Sifu?
I am on Instagram. I am on the Facebooks. I am on the Twitter, and yeah, any PM there or on the Discord, the rooms Discord. I'm in there with the cool kids. Yeah, you can also you can email me. It's right here. Yep.
There you
And no, I'm just I'm honored to be here. I never expected to be here, and I'm very appreciative of this journey. I'm hoping to learn a lot and meet a lot more people in the industry and gain more knowledge and just keep getting better and better and better at it.
Mhm.
So, gracias. Thank you.
Alrighty, Mitch, anything you want to put out there, promote, and all that?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the Stew Crew Discord, Rave Club Discord. I think I'm in too many Discords actually. But yeah, that's about it. Some of the different people on some of the shows have tried some of my liquid. If you want to try something, just shoot me a message. I'm just really happy to be here and to pick the brain of 3 mixers that have substantially more time under their belt than I do. Especially the Custard King.
Whoa.
The Canadian Custard King himself.
It's okay. It's okay, Chris. I mean, over at the Ohmies, I'm the DIY king, apparently. That's still like such a heavy title. I'm like, no.
When you asked me, I was like, Sifu, I was honored. You have a juice line, and anybody who knows anything about vape stew knows about Chris's custards, and anybody that watches Grimm has heard Sifu's name come up. I was just like, I was, yeah, I was honored to get to learn from from you guys, all of you. You know, yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's all I got.
Alrighty, Chris,
All right,
you
just
ready?
a quick question because I've never done this before. So all I have to do is like untick the "this is a private recipe," right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you go to whenever you're in the ELR, there's a button in the top right above your recipes. If you click that, it's going to open up a box, and then you can toggle all of them off if you wanted to. You just click
No, I
on.
think I'm just gonna start putting them up from now on. I have like
And-
3 pages of recipes.
Oh, right whenever you start, in the top, at the bottom of your flavors.
Okay,
underneath
like you
that.
see right here.
Yeah, that's it.
So I unticked the "this is a private recipe."
And then you
Yeah.
gotta save it.
Okay.
Hey, Mitch, what's your?
Okay, so
your
I guess I'll
ELR?
say like my peace outs.
I don't have one, dude.
You don't have an ELR? Oh, you just write all your recipes.
Yeah, I have a
Okay, dude.
notebook.
Dude, you old school, bro.
That's
That's not a bad thing, dude. It's not a bad thing because they stay private and they're somewhere physical where you could actually have them. Which I will say, people that don't know this, on ELR, you can actually download a PDF of all your recipes and print them out if you need to for your own purposes, so you don't lose them in case ELR
Oh,
crashes
really?
at some point. So just keep that in mind.
Well, my thing was I would write something down, write it down, and then I was constantly scratching stuff out, and making notes, and
Yeah.
getting different feedback from different people, and it just seemed like eventually I would like to put like more of my finished recipes
Mm-hmm.
onto something like that.
Yeah.
Daddy's almost done. Oh God. Thank you guys for your patience. I
It's okay,
appreciate
man.
all of you. Here.
All right, I don't know if it actually worked, but it saved it for me, so I can figure it out after, I suppose.
What's the name of it? I'll test it for you.
I think that I just called it banana bread custard, and then I put episode number 1, mixing it up, in like parentheses.
Yeah, got it.
Got it.
Okay,
Alright,
so it's right there. All right, perfect.
cool. Seafood's on it.
All right, awesome. All right, well, okay, so I'm just gonna say I'm super excited about this show. I'm super excited for so many different reasons. One, it's gonna have like that 1 hour every week that I guaranteed am gonna be mixing, which I do anyways, but like this way I know that I can like work on things successively. Another thing that I'm excited for is just the challenge of doing things that I might never have done before. Like I obviously I like mixing up desserts. I kind of suck at fruits a little bit, but I think that doing this show is gonna like allow me to get better because it's gonna force me to try it and stuff like that. So I am also super pumped that Clown was like, "Yo, I want to do this show. I want you to be a part of it." So I'm super excited for the future of the show. You guys can check me out on the Green Room on Friday nights on the Frames Janklin Vapor channel. You can also check out the Shed Time podcast, which we put up new episodes every Sunday evening. And you can find us on SoundCloud. There's actually like a huge giveaway. So if you guys want to listen to it, you can find it anywhere podcasts can be found. But link to the SoundCloud. We have like a big, I guess it's just a big giveaway for once we hit a certain amount of subs or followers. So you guys should go check that out. And yeah, I just look forward to next week. And hopefully this, okay. Also, this tastes okay. I mean, it tastes fine. The banana tastes pretty good. Everything else, I don't know because
It still needs to
just
develop.
I'll give you guys, well, whatever. You can try mixing it if you want, or I'll give you guys an update next week.
Yeah.
And with that, I'll pass it to Clown.
Alrighty. So, as for me, if you guys want to come back here on Thursday for Wolfbite at 5 p.m. CST, come hang out. I don't know what we're doing this week. I don't think we've actually discussed it. Normally by this point in the week, we already know what we're doing, but I know like we've been kind of all over the place, so it's kind of one of those up in the air things. Then be on the lookout for reviews. Again, I'm still trying to get some videos done. I get up after my nap after work, and I just never feel like doing much of anything other than mixing or maybe some coil work if I'm even feeling up to that. So yeah, like I said, just be on the lookout for the review videos, and then come check us out over on the Vaping with the Ohmies channel on Monday, 7 Central Standard Time, and see what we're up to. Yesterday they did rescued reviews, and from what I can tell, it was a pretty good show. They had fun. I sadly was not there because I woke up with my back in just agonizing pain, so I was just like, I'm gonna nap it off. It kind of helped, it kind of didn't, but you know, getting old. But other than that, if you guys are interested in any of the liquids I make and stuff, go check out kvtvshop.com. I have any of those. I still need to add like 4 more flavors onto there. I'm actually gonna mix those up this week, do new labels, do all that kind of thing. I'll have some stuff for me to vape, and there'll be some nice cool pictures up on the site, and that way you guys can look through that. And coils, if you guys are interested in any of the coils I make, I'm up to aliens, triple cores, dual core stuff. Do them in 28 gauge. I haven't added that to the website because I don't have enough stock to actually feel confident enough to add it, but I do also do 28 gauge core aliens, so if you guys want to check that out. And then Teespring, if you guys want to check out any KV TV swagger or Wolfbite swagger, and I might be adding some mix it up swagger. We'll see. I'll talk to the fellas here how they feel about that. So we'll get some shirts or something for the show, and go check that out. And other than that, yeah, again, I'm very thankful for the guys for, you know, giving me an hour of their time to do all this, because I mean, shit, I know everybody's busy and they have schedules and families and all that kind of thing, so I truly appreciate it. Alrighty, so that is it. We will catch you guys next week, hopefully. You know, like I said, we'll try to do some mixing challenges or something, or if you guys want to hit me up on kvtv at clownvapes@gmail.com and send any like recipe requests, or I know Seafood dropped his email earlier. If you guys want to hit him up and have him directly work with you on a recipe or something, you know, there are ways to get a hold of us. You know, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have Facebook, so whichever means you have and you guys are interested in maybe talking to us about something, you can more than gladly, you know, within reason, hit us up and all that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll catch you guys next week, and yeah, thank you. I don't know how to end the show, to be honest. I don't have a quirky saying or anything, so vape on, mix on, there you go. Woo, and outro.